Good morning, Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone listening to us, wherever you are in the world, welcome once again to Let's Talk Nigeria right now on Golding 97.5 FM Yenagwa, the Gold Sounder Radio, your trusted space for national conversations, thought provoking analysis, and community engagement. I am Moye Steven.
And I am Paul Oblomugbasa.
Yes, 65 years since our great country lowered the Union Jack and hoisted the green, white, green, proclaiming our freedom from colonial rule. Independence anniversaries are always a time for celebration, right? Reflection and renewal of hope, like yesterday. There are moments when leaders speak to the people. Many of our leaders, the federal, state, they gave speeches yesterday, not just to recount achievements, but to chart the way forward. And this year wasn't different. Nigeria's 65th independence celebration came with key speeches from both President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the national level and Governor Doyediri right here in Bayelsa State. Now, the president's address sought to inspire confidence in the nation's resilience, emphasizing economic reforms, security improvements, and the need for unity and diversity. It was a speech that touched on, sacrifice, hope, and the promise of a stronger Nigeria, as you already know. Now, Governor Diri, on his part, reflected on his administration's strides, highlighting peace, development, and the aspirations of the Bayelsa people whose resources have long powered the nation. But here's a critical question. What should we make of these speeches? Do they truly speak to the realities of Nigerians face today, from inflation and unemployment to insecurity and governance? Do they give hope for the ordinary citizen, the farmer here in Yenagoa, in Bayelsa State, the trader in Onisha, the teacher in Kano, or are they simply ceremonial words without matching action?
Ceremonial words without matching actions. People have always said that most times many governors or many leaders take out the time during the Independence Day to give statements of reassurance. Some say it's reassured hope, some say it's reassured stories and rhetorics. In the midst of everything, is this also another ritual of promises that Nigerians have grown accustomed to hearing year after year that had made it had to be weary? They will say in Wari Parlant, hunger we get hope, no they kill. Now make Christmas rice, no they don't quick. But this hope is already getting weary for many Nigerians. So today, we unpack the president's words yesterday as well as the governor's words and statement, and we must try, as we examine, we want to see what was just beyond what was said, but also what was left unsaid. How does the vision that they painted align with the daily struggles of ordinary citizens? What message should Nigerians all across the world, and also Bayelsas all across the entire globe, carry away? Is it hope, skepticism, or conscious optimism?
And so, just as Paul Bassa mentioned, we are on Let's Talk Nigeria looking at Nigeria at 65, a review of President Tinubu's and Governor Diri's Independence Day speeches. And to help us explain the meaning, the substance, and the impact of these speeches, we have two distinguished voices, but one here in the studio and one will be joining us via VMix. From Lagos, right, in Lagos. First is Mr. Prince Mark Ake, a respected analyst and the key eye on governance and civic issues. Thanks for joining us, Mark Ake, on the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Moye and Paul. Good to have me.
I like that.
Great. We are going to be joined by Justice Ogiona Esquire, a legal mind and public affairs commentator whose perspective always blends the law, leadership, and the people's interest. He's going to be joining us all the way from Lagos. Now, together we will ask, do these independence messages move us closer to the Nigeria of our dreams? Are they inspiring enough to stir action among the governed and the governing? And of course, beyond the speeches, what must be done truly to fix Nigeria in its 65th year and beyond? We'll talk about Bielsa State as well, in its 29th anniversary of the creation of Bielsa State. Listeners, always, this conversation is yours too, so stay tuned because your voice matters on Let's Talk Nigeria. Right, so before we will be joined by Justice Ogiana Esquire from Lagos, let's start with our friend Prince Mark Ake here in the studio. Prince, once again, thanks for joining us on the show. And Nigeria is 65 years independent, right? Bielsa State is 29 years, old from its creation, all right? When you look back at Nigeria, and Bielsa State, do you believe the nation or the state has lived up to the hopes of its founding fathers? I am asking this question together, so you answer both Nigeria or Bielsa, but you may choose to start with any of them. Remember, 65-29.
Okay, good morning, Bielsans, and good morning, Nigerians in extension. We're in a mood of celebration, no doubt. As a Nigerian, I'm proud and I'm very happy that we have celebrated 65 years of freedom from external oppressors and aggressors, and So, who knows that if we have not had independence, if probably I would have been born, or I would have had the life that I have now. So I use myself as a case study. I appreciate God for who I am, and I thank God that I'm in Nigeria. So I'm a very proud Nigerian to that effect. But your question is, it has a relative and diverse answers. On the first hand, as a progressive, I would say we have grown to an extent. But on the other hand, there are a lot that have not been done after 65 years of independence. Things that we were reading while we were in primary schools, and at the end point, they will always have these thoughts, and the last paragraph of whatever article, or those days we used to call them readers. I don't know the rationale of that reader thing. When you read, and at the end of everything you read, they will always say, we are the leaders of tomorrow. And that keep rolling and rolling to decades upon decades. But we have not seen that coming. That doesn't mean that we are complete failure. No, we have made some good progress as a people, as Nigerians. But all we're asking as citizens of Nigeria, that we should take moral lessons from those areas we have not done well and build upon. Because if you put it on a scale of 1 to 10, you see that our progression have declined. It's not where we're supposed to be, because Nigerians are blessed with human capital resources. We have natural resources. So there is no reason why Nigerians should have issues, because we are blessed in all ramifications. Do you know Nigeria is the only country where crops they will grow on a rock? We are that fertile. So in all our sundry, agriculture can strive in Nigeria. And that is the bedrock of every nation. If you dwell on agriculture and tackle the issue of food security, then you have just gotten it right. Because people first must be filled, their stomach must be filled before they can strive better. But you still see a lot of back and forth, all rhetorics about food security, fighting food security, insecurity. You just hear seminars, blah, blah. There's no practical work. The only time we begin to see a foundation was in the Goodluck's administration, when the African Development Bank president was then Minister for Agriculture. That was when farmers were getting direct incentives from the government.
Getting direct fertilizers, huh?
All are sundry, both fertilizer, seedlings, and all the rest. And we can see that in the contemporary Nigerian time, you see that at that particular time, the agricultural sector, they got a right foundation, and the hope, was very high. Unfortunately, he left, and perhaps he left with the goodies. And we return back to status quo. You see where people can no longer go to farm? I was practically worried with the president's broadcast yesterday.
Because I wanted to ask you what struck you most about the president's independence speech this
Yes,
year.
I to me, as an individual, which I'm entitled to my opinion, I didn't have a take home of anything that has to do with that speech, because I see it like a more of academic work, where people just want to write theses, they want to write projects, no practical. You're writing projects without getting feedstocks. You didn't do research. There was no questionnaire. People didn't give their holistic, versions and thoughts about the issues you want to raise, the things you want to tell Nigerians.
We're going to look at specific paragraphs.
Yes,
though. We'll do that.
Yeah, most of them are just mere academic works. But you look at, let's talk about security. It was a specific. Now we're talking about security when over 9 local governments, if I'm correct, I think it was 5, later 4. 9 local governments, I stand to be corrected anyway, but there are some local government in Katsina State that have pledged their allegiance to bandits, where they came out and they held meeting. A local government chairman has ceded his constitutional power to the authority of an illegal person, and nothing has happened. And why are those people doing that? Because they are predominantly farmers, and if you don't loyal, because the government have not provided needed security for them. So if you're not loyal, perhaps your farm will be destroyed, or you'll probably be killed. So since you can't get help from your government, they decide to take, directives, and they are paying ransoms to go to farm. And we just pay lip service about security. Everybody wants to give whatever advice just to get an end meet. Are we supposed to be in that kind of, at Nigeria 65, are we supposed to be seeing that kind of thing happen in Nigeria? And what baffles me, that this is the same Nigeria that whenever there is a peace mission outside Nigeria, it is this same Nigerian security personnel, ranging from the army to even the least security service information, talking about immigration, customs. Whenever they go to offshore Nigeria, they come out excellent. They put in the best. You see the world celebrating it, but back home, what has changed? A big question.
In the president's speech, paragraph 13, talking about security, because you just mentioned security, I had to go there. Paragraph 13 of his speech, in the third line 4 rather, said they are winning. The Nigerian security forces are winning the war against terrorism, banditry, and other violent crimes. Do you subscribe and agree with the president on that?
That's what I've been saying earlier. You can't say you're winning a war when non-state actors will come out in a broad daylight. It has never been like this before. Before they used to come out as syndicate, they destroy area, they put bombs, they are not emboldened, but now they are emboldened to come out. They are not even wearing masks.
Are you saying the president is not factual in this case?
It's not. In Nigeria, our population should be a blessing. It should be a nest for productivity, not to be losing them. Vibrant Nigerians, just like we have lost a journalist, a colleague of ours, few days ago. We shouldn't do that. Now look at her story. She left Nigeria for greener pastures in the UK. But the moment she landed in the UK, she said, come on, my country is better off. And she came back. Because she likes her country. And what do we see at the end of the day? How can a federal capital of a nation, such criminal gang will hold siege over 3 hours, and there is no security response from any sort, where you have all the headquarters of all the security agencies in our country? We are not saying at some time you not have pockets of crime. Society grows with also crime. But as a federal capital of our nation, and considering where she lives, those are salient questions that they need to explain to us. Everybody who have been to Abuja know that Katankpe is not where low-life people live. is a well-structured community. So how do criminals go there, operate under 3 hours without no response from any form of security intervention until they left and somebody eventually died? And though the security man that they said died, from latest report that he did not die, but he sustained a gunshot. But whether he will survive later, nobody knows. So you cannot, as a government, insult the sensitivity of its citizens. It is not right. Nigerians have been very resilient for a long time. So they should not take it for granted. I pray that rather they should see it and leverage on it to make Nigeria great. We are a great nation, but in practical, we are not great people. Look at the statistics of all the economic gains that he claimed during the presidential broadcast. Those are just mere paperwork. Come down to the reality of the ordinary Nigerian. We are still living below $1.
He said, to talk about the NEL fund. Talked about the NEL fund.
Which NEL fund?
All those
social.
90 billion.
It is only this.
The feeding that it's over 44.
Paul. It is only in this administration that we hear NEL fund, we hear this, we hear that, we hear that. And they are not practically being felt by the people. Let's go back to Muhammad Buhari's regime as president, where we have was it that for the
was it Shopee or something?
No, Shopee is under good luck. What do they call it? There is one internship program. Not you win. However, as the time goes on, we'll remember the program.
Some of these policies just come and go like that.
Exactly. So even as Buhari's administration that all Nigerians were not happy of, all the social programs rolled out under Buhari, the ordinary Nigerians were seeing it. Radio COVID-19 grants and all the Nigerians, you stay in your house and you receive grants. Then there was the AGMS loan from NISA that empower small.
Okay, you're talking about Empower?
Empower, thank you.
Empower, yeah.
Empower, we saw the results. Nigerians were in schools, they were in various places of placement where they were being paid monthly stipends, so I think about 40 or 50,000 thereabouts.
30,000?
30,000 exactly. Nigerians were getting the alert.
Yeah.
Every family felt
true.
the gesture from federal government. Then is it about the NISA loans that were given to entrepreneurs? Even if though some persons felt it was a free money and today they are beginning to deduct them from source, But as of that time, those who made good use of the NISA loan, they have not been poor till today. At least a reasonable number, are still doing well. But in terms of the spread, all over Nigeria, till now the NISA is still giving those who have farms. They are still getting loans and they are still doing good of that privilege.
Please, let's hold on that because we have a lot to talk about. We have to come to the state too. But in paragraph 7, because I just want to be very, very specific, right? Paragraph 7, they said, our administration inherited a near-collapsed economy caused by decades of fiscal policy distortions and misalignment that had impaired real growth. I want you to, react to this particular line. He inherited near-collapsed economy. What was the president saying there?
You see, that is another very sudden a point of that broadcast. For you to volunteer yourself that you want to run for an elections in any of the offices, you must have taken stock of the good, the bad, the ugly. Why you think that you're projecting yourself to salvage people who were being promised during campaigns from A to Z. You already know that in part A, there is failure in II. There is success in IV, IVV, VVII, and all the rest. So you volunteered yourself that you're coming to salvage these things. Now you are there. Nigerians have voted for you. Whether it is courts that affirmed the election is secondary. He's the president and commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's our president. So you already understood that we have issues and you said you were the best, that you want to replicate what you did in Lagos to the nation. And Nigerians perhaps were beclouded and they believed that during your time in Lagos you did actually well. So they entrust their vote for you and you use it and you won an election. Now what we want is service and not for complaints. Why are you talking about failure of near collapse? This is the same man that was part of the government 8 years ago, and he was a national leader of the political party that produced that president, and he never altered a word for 8 years to the then president to say, you are not doing well. They keep singing songs of praise. Then it was time for election, you projected yourself and you won the election. Who are you complaining to? Imagine, like now, me, I have him to go and complain. The president is my father now. As long as president of Nigeria is my father. So as a child, I have him to go and complain to. If I'm not satisfied, if I'm satisfied, I'll go and tell him, Mr. President, thank you. The areas I'm not satisfied, I'll say, Daddy, this area, I'm not feeling okay. But when he now complains, is it telling us that we're in a failed nation by his broadcast?
Let's come back to Bayelsa. We have no time, Turning to Bayelsa, how did you assess Governor Doyediri's address to the people? Did the governor adequately capture the challenges and aspirations of Bayelsans at this moment in our history?
Well, for the case of Bayelsa, maybe today, if he's listening, maybe he might decide to buy me a pizza. I don't know. Because I know most of them don't like my positions about issues that has to do with development. And but for today, it will be... But I'm still Oliver Twist anyway. 29 years is a good thing. We've had our positive and negative sides when it comes to the issue of development. And for Doyediri, I would like to leave the areas that I'm not too happy of, and I'll just focus on the success areas that we need to applaud him. Now, one of the things that I like in our dear governor of Bayelsa State is the political will of embarking on projects, which has been one of the biggest problems from the inception of Bayelsa, from the first military administrator to where we are today. I give credit to him. Is that one leader we had in Bayelsa that when he makes up his mind to do something, he followed what he has decided to do, So we can see visibly the development that are going on in the state. It's better that you receive the one that you're gotten and ask for more. So this morning, Doyediri is my good books. I'm proud to call him a father because he's the governor of my state, and I am a proud citizen of Bayelsa State. That his broadcast it all lean on giving Bayelsa a very high expectations. That's where I'm applauding him, because he reassured us that he's going to continue all that he has started, and he's going to finish them up before the expiration of his tenure.
Okay.
So on that area, I am very happy. I don't want to dwell so much so that I don't spoil my happiness.
Yes, we'll look at the paragraphs actually, in a jiffy. But Barrister Justice Ogena just joined us from Lagos. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. And good morning to all our listeners all across the world. It's my pleasure to join you, and more particularly the great people of Bayelsa State.
Many thanks. Thank you very much for joining us. We're looking at the Independence Day speeches. We will concentrate with the national because you're not here in Bayelsa State, so I think you will comment more on the president's speech. So let's start by asking you. Nigeria is now 65 years independent. When you look back, do you believe the nation has lived up to the hopes of its founding fathers. That's one. And number two, what really struck you most about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Independence Day speech this year?
Okay, for me, we're attacking the first question. The answer is an obvious no. Anybody that has contrary views is a propagandist and probably under the paycheck of the present day government. So as for the dreams and hopes of the people that established this country or fought for the independence of this country, I feel that it has been significantly dashed, if not totally dashed. And I also feel that while in their graves, they are practically turning and they are turning in double pain that this country, this wasn't their intention. So as for the speech of the president, two major parts that I am diametrically opposed to. I'll touch on education and healthcare. He kept saying that our healthcare services are significantly better than where they were in 1960, and I am significantly opposed to that based on the fact that in 1960 and in the earlier parts of our independence as a nation, we had people from all over coming down to Nigeria for medical services. The king of Saudi Arabia popularly came down to the University of Ibadan Teaching Hospital to come and get medical services, to come and be checked, to come and be treated. That's one of the most wealthiest monarchs in the world. Can we have such a situation like that in today's Nigeria in the medical sector? The answer is an absolute no. Even the Nigerian politicians, the average Nigerian leader of any capacity, once they get a councillorship, the Nigerian medical space becomes anathema for them. They start going abroad. They call it medical tourism. Even our last president was not dignified enough to die in Nigeria. All of them, they won't die in Nigeria. They go to Saudi Arabia, they go to Germany. Now the present president is famously known for France. The only place where they choose to die is abroad. They choose to be treated in medical facilities abroad. We remember what the wife of the ex-president said about the medical center in Nassau, that they didn't even have paracetamol. All they come to do in Nigeria is to come and be buried. Nigeria is their cemetery. And they come and the president comes and tells us that, we have a better health care now compared to 1965. How is that true? Come to education, same thing, exactly the same thing. They cannot educate their children in the educational facilities here. All of them is abroad. Even they don't get their own education here. All he was saying in order to portray the fact that we are educationally better was the number of educational facilities that we have here. At the beginning of our independence, people were coming to the University of Lagos, coming to the University of Ibadan. International students come and get educated. What's our ranking? What's the ranking of our universities? The best of our universities do not even make 1,000 in the world. So why are we lying to ourselves? So a lot of these things need to be revisited, and they need to be revisited in good faith by the leaders of this country in order for us not to just be having a tirade of vanishing numbers. What's the endowment of the average Nigerian university? The endowment of Harvard is more than $50 billion. Meaning that the total Nigerian reserve is less than $50 billion. While Harvard as well as university has more than $50 billion. So you are here saying that, you are doing better in education. A lot of these things need to be rechecked, need to be revisited, and sometimes the only way we'll be able to make progress is after we tell ourselves the harsh truth. And I think that the president tries to insult the intelligence of Nigerians, and it feels that Nigerians don't even understand, that Nigerians don't have a memory. We are displaced with amnesia. So these are some of the things that our leaders need to know. that we know in order for them to be able to do better by the Nigerian people.
Okay, Justice Gennard, the wonderful summation that you started with, we had also asked our brother here, Prince Makake, concerning the figures, because we're seeing that most times, even with this present administration, the president said that this is the third Independence Day speech to Nigerians, and we begin to hear figures, begin to hear amounts. We're hearing for NEL fund for the students. He addressing his speech, he said his administration is set to give the Nigerian youth wings to fly, and he talked about the NEL fund thing, and he talked about over 94.9 billion naira spent disbursed so far. Then he talked about also for feeding. There was this amount that is also 44.9 billion giving, and we're just seeing figures. The people on the street, let's ask now, the speech writing and the boots on ground, reality on ground, do they really match? Or how do you think Nigerians really feel across every geopolitical zone right now?
Okay, I feel that we are gradually getting to a stage of total apathy and lack of absolute confidence in the government and in the figures banded by the government. And by the time the average Nigerian finally gets to that point, it's gonna be total despair as far as some of us are concerned. And I feel, Nigerians generally feel, that the government has started tampering with figures. Because by the time they bandy this figure, bandy that figure, they will talk about so many, how many billions that they are spending on sometimes they will just say 10 million families. And I've not met one family as a Nigerian that has been helped by the government, that is getting conditional transfer from the government. So we start suspecting that, the government are thinking with the figures and data. And that is supposed to be apolitical. It's supposed to be something that is beyond the thought of any government. Because once Nigerians suspect that they started thinking with the figure, which I know that Nigerians have started suspecting, because just like I said earlier, I've never ever met one person that the government, they will say one particular register, National Social Register, National Poverty Register. And I've not met one person that is bringing money before. But they need to be transparent. They need to publish these names. And anybody who feels that, they want to enjoy the privacy of their person, they don't want their name to be published, then they should remove such persons from such registers. Because Nigerians need to trust the integrity of the data that they are using, of the names that they are using, and of the persons that are beneficiaries. Otherwise, Nigerians will believe, and rightfully so, that these politicians, they are either putting the money directly into themselves, or they are saving into a war chest for their re-election, or into their these are not being recycled for the purpose of putting in positions of power their own cronies and their own pockets. And Nigerians know that these things are happening. Nigerians are just not aware of the level to which it's happening. So that is why, for me as a person, I don't trust the figures that this president or the government is banding. And they need to quickly retrace themselves on that. They should stop thinking with the National Bureau of Statistics. Whoever is appointed into that place must be a person that is as apolitical and as objective as possible, because these figures are not only used by Nigerians, it's not only used for politics, it's also used by foreign direct investors. That's number one, on the angle of Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. When last did we have a population census in this country? And that's supposed to be the first step origin of all the data that any other body or agency of government is supposed to be using to prepare development blueprints in different sectors of the economy or for social purposes too. So what are we doing about national population census? I pray that by the time we try to do national population census, they don't also put in their cronies to manipulate the figures, because at some point we heard that people were counting cows and goes to populate some part of Nigeria. And how will development come when we have figures and data that we cannot rely on? So these are some of the things that I want the government and the propagandists to not talk with a long spoon, because the implication of it will be too grave.
Okay, Barrister Justice Ogiona, just hang on. Let's just open the phone lines and get the reactions of Nigerians. A few calls, and we're back to maybe ask you a few questions to summarize today's show. To you, the listener, you can head on Facebook right now. We are streaming live, 97.5 Golding FM, Yanagwa. Just go there, like the page, and drop your comments there. We're going to be reading those comments in the show. Calling numbers 0707 747 1522. 0912-000-1975. You can send WhatsApp messages on. Call us even on WhatsApp, no problems. We can get it. 0912-000-1975. Let's hear from you. What are your thoughts regarding the speeches of the president yesterday and on that of the governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doyediri? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. My name is Ini, calling from Punch.
All right, Ini, quickly.
So, for all the comments with Mr. President yesterday, me, I don't see anything like that. Because even that money, we ain't saying they give people, families. I don't know how many families we don't receive, but me, I don't receive. Although few people for this state feel receive them, but nobody has seen the talk. That one injury is a real issue. So we no feel. In fact, the government will no feel anything from the government. So if in the talk say in do like this, in help people, in they put things in place to make maybe Nigeria better. It should do more than talking. Because we're always in the talk and don't see anything inside.
Okay, thank you very much, Inie. But of course, he has to give a speech. He says he should do more than talking. What do you expect the president to do on on Independence Day? You expect him to speak.
But I think that because we cannot also sit down here or put in our views to say he has done nothing.
No. We can't say that.
We can't say that.
No, we can't say that.
So now what I would have encouraged the system to do, they would have just looked at the areas that they have had, tangible gains.
And that's what he did, right?
No. They didn't do anything.
Oh, let's get to hear from this caller.
Even the areas that we believe that they have gotten success, we were shocked that we didn't hear those things.
Okay, let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Moye Stephen Apolbaka.
Good morning.
And I also greet Paul McCarthy, Prince McCarthy.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yes. I would say that my name is Jackson Amadi. I'm calling from Martin 5.
Okay, please go ahead.
I believe it is high time for us to declare a specific day for us in this country as a day of survival. Because our survival, the rate at which we survive in difficulty, I think people need to come and study a Nigerian, an average Nigerian or a poor Nigerian, how they manage to survive in this country. Because it has never been easy. So many persons right now don't even care what happens. As long as they can see little food to eat in a day and they think of the next day. Now people don't even care about building houses or buying luxury things. They just want to eat and survive. Not even quality food, just quantity that will satisfy their stomach. That is how bad the country is. During the Buhari government, we felt it, but it was never like this before. I think the presidential speech that was read during the Independence Day were figures that even he, the president, is not aware of. These are cooked up stories or figures that if you ask him, Baba, this is what you told us, so you come and give us evidence, like the way you are saying, let us see. This is you are telling us, come and show us the indices to show that this country is now living well before you came, or more than the way you came. You are saying we are going through surgery. Yes, the surgery is going to the point that our blood is draining out from our body. Before you finish the operation, this man is dead. You cannot revive this man. That is how bad the country is. Look at every direction. Security is in the place whereby people die on a daily basis. Not one, not two, but hundreds of people die on daily basis. And now we all feel like as if human life is no longer important to us. If today you hear that 1,000 persons died in the place, you say, they don't do it again. No problem. So they manage to go. That is how bad country is. So whatever that we are seeing now, the human life of a Nigerian is at the threshold of enduring to the point where you feel like, what is the hope for tomorrow? See, the Independence Day is just a reflection that, yes, they are independent to control the natural resources, but if you don't see the independence, they just suffer.
All right.
And I just, yes, thank you. Let me just end it.
All right, then. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Chief Moyo, I greet you.
Morning. Thanks for joining us. Quickly, please.
Yeah, very fast. I greet our guest also. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want the speech. I think I listened to the speech by Chief, our president. I think I listened carefully over and over. I think what I gathered from that speech, I think it's just one of those traditional speeches we used to hear over the years. It's not a holistic speech. If I want to be specific, the local government autonomy, I don't see how autonomic that statement is, because up till now we have not heard anything concrete from the federal government. The local governments are still under siege, so to say. It's so unfortunate. And for the bandits, I think these are people that work for some people, and I think this is a payback time. If you want to sow, it's what you reap in this life. That is where I see it. And for the last but not the least, I think from the speech, I heard when your president said that he's trying to say that the past administrations have not done well. They have kept us where we are today. I want to look at it holistically. The past 10 years, we have been ruled by APC, and this same leadership is part of these 10 years. So what are we talking about in a nutshell? For our governor, last of us, I think his name is he has written his name in gold. I give him kudos for that. Thank you this morning.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let's return to Barrister Justice Ogenor, all the way from Lagos, so that we can let him go. Barrister, are you there with us still?
Loud and clear, sir.
Great. So we want to let you go. You know, you're very, very busy. But you know, before you go, we want to hear from you. What should be the top 3 priorities for this administration? You know, before 2027. And if you had the chance to advise the president, what one message would you give him?
For me, the top 3 would be first, cut down on corruption genuinely this time and empower persons who are chasing corrupt people politically, give them the political will and backing to go after all and sundry that are bedeviling our Commonwealth. That is number 1. Number 2, cut down on the waste. That was my second priority. Cut down on the waste. When you tell Nigerians to tighten their seatbelts, so tighten their seatbelts or whatever things of that regard, you too, you should tighten yours. Stop telling us to endure while you are feeding fast. So that's number 2. Number 3, they should work better on the security situation in this country. Because without security, economy can never ever blossom the way it's supposed to blossom. So if the president can give these 3 priorities, I think that we'll be in a significantly better place come 2027, and people may have a think as to whether they want to renew his mandate or just tell him this. And I'm just largely assuming that everything is done by vote. I'm assuming that this Nigerian voter is not going to be intimidated, and the votes are not going to be skewed in any particular politician's favor. I'm just assuming that there's going to be integrity within the system. And for my last word to him will be that the INEC chairman that's going to be nominated in the fourth call in a few days' time should be a person of indeed integrity and not just a person that will give his imprimatur to the wrongfulness and political brigandage that has pervaded our country so far.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barrister Justice
Thank you.
Ogieno, for
Thank you
being a
so
part
much.
of us. Have a beautiful day, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's it. Let's take one more call before we come to Mark. Okay. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. This is your calling from Akenfa, sir.
Okay, go ahead, please, quickly.
We have a topic, but let me just run. The independent day celebration of Bayelsa Christian is Bayelsa is 29. We are still progressing as a Bayelsa. As a Nigeria, then born me as Nigeria, so that is now Nigeria matter, not our problem. I don't know get that any of our leaders, but my mother, she even born 1960, so Nigeria independence is normally in my memory. If apart from my mother, she no give birth to that 1960, for even no reason, independent day one day, but my mother is give birth or that year, so that is why parents from Akenfa is normally no the independent day. But apart from that, we are still progressive. We just grow too. No, we don't get to even radio station. We be our own today now. We they grow too now. God bless you.
Okay, thank you. That's on a lighter note. It's allowed. It's allowed.
But you
it's
see,
allowed.
you
Yes.
see, you have just made a comment that a lighter note. But that's the Nigerian man for you. And that's why leadership is taking us for granted.
That's true.
We're happy people. Nigeria, in fact, the way God created the Nigerian species of human beings were different. If you travel, of course, you have traveled.
Yes.
before.
So that
Whenever
we're the
you leave the
happiest.
shores of Nigeria,
We are the
others,
happiest. We are the
they look at
happiest.
Nigerians as if we are extraordinary people. And of course we are.
We are.
And when we go, we don't fail.
No, we don't.
We don't fail. Excellence in all
See
ramifications.
the way we are absorbing all of the pain.
No nation citizen can try it. But you see Nigeria, we complain 1 minute, the other minute we are in a party dancing. Nothing happens. Just like the man that thought that Nigerians now don't think of quality food. All what we need, let there be food to eat.
Food to eat. This
But yet, look at how we are refreshed.
Mark, look, this particular caller has been trying my line. I don't know. Can we hear you in 60 seconds, please?
Good morning, my brother.
Morning.
Yeah, my brother. It's Tony.
Okay, quickly, please. Quickly.
Some of things where you're getting talked down. I'm disagreeing with him. Well, people whenever Nigeria like that, Nigeria will affect Nigeria. It will affect Nigeria. This is 2 years in office. This man has done a lot for Nigeria. This man has done a lot for states in Nigeria. Today, we are praising Toyediri. We are praising Tinubu. When this is there, there's no money to pay salary. They're paying half salary. We are blaming presidents of Nigeria. But today, there's a lot of money to pay salary and do a lot of work for Nigeria. And when you replace the man, we bring that idea to replace this money, to do all these things. He said the man has failed Nigeria. If we resources to be removed today, it's given it to governors. And governors are doing road, bring top to us, bring other things to us from this money for electricity to make it happy. And when you are blaming the governor, and when President Tinubu, you are a partial person. Secondly, in terms of the money given to universities, if you never hear that Tinubu, many people are receiving money for university, you are talking lies. People are receiving money for university every day. Go and apply, you can receive your own. In terms of money, people are paying people 75,000 naira for 3 months. It's a reality. For day, in although by day, I think up to 10 people receiving those money in Bayelsa here. So let us, when you see the truth, let us say the truth. And when you see the report of you're not your party or you're not like the man, you condemn everything the man has done. Insecurity, the man has tried. Before some local governments in North.
Okay, thank you. We have to go. All right, we have to go. We have to go now.
Is it the uniqueness of Nigeria?
Yes, that's it. That's the issue.
But I think it's far from the discussion. We are not sitting here to say the man has done nothing.
We are looking at the speech and
We are
then
looking at the
connecting
speech
them
and
to what.
analysis. Now he talk, the speech said 8 million families. He did not say 8 million people. 8 million family. So let us just do a small mathematics to say the minimum family of, let's say 4, a father, mother, and 2 children. Multiply that 4 to 8 million. That means if these things are correct, what we are saying here on this studio is about the figures.
Prince,
If the 8 million is correct, then we would have completely eroded poverty in Nigeria.
let us conclude in your last or final words, like your concluding thoughts for today's show.
Well, my first that Nigerians should be taken seriously. We should do due diligence before coming out with such kind of broadcast. I think the president should have an in-depth knowledge about what he wants to come and tell Nigerians at all time. I know as a leader, he has handlers. They will just write and say, Mr. President, this is what it, because as of today, the president is living a protocol life. He hardly even knows what is happening outside the Aso Rock gate. So people handling the president's schedule should do well not to insult the sensibility of Nigeria, because end of the day, I just embarrass the president that happens to be their boss and the leader of our nation.
And
Because when you bring in issues that are not correct, and I know the way we are reacting here, because I've been on other social media platforms like X and all the rest, the reactions of Nigerians as regards to this speech, if not that the kind of people we are as Nigerian, what is happening in Nepal would have been elementary. But we are peace-loving people, and I pray that everybody continues to be peaceful. We must always discuss our issues to have a logical conclusion for a better Nigeria.
And quickly for Bayelsa.
Bayelsa. I think this Bayelsa story, we should have a special edition where we can do proper digesting.
We will.
But however, as a state, even if we are going slow, we are progressing. Even if we are going slow, coming from 29 years, if we begin, that's why I say special. If we now quantify from the day Bayelsa was created, the resources that come to Bayelsa till date, that is when we have proper developmental discourse about Bayelsa. Then we cannot equate with what we have and what we have received.
Let's hold it there.
Sector by sector.
Thank you.
Then we'll get. But for now, the governor is mostly the gas turbine that have arrived Bayelsa to give the Yenegua kudos to him and all good things that he has been doing, and let him keep monitoring what he has been doing. Because another thing before I close up, the issue of security in Bayelsa. Bayelsa have been enjoying peace, but it's like the security people have gone to sleep. So the demons have started raising their heads.
Prince.
So they should intensify the security situation in Bayelsa.
Thank you very much, Prince. We have no time again. We just have 1 minute.
That's all.
Paul.
let's keep hope alive and let's keep building Nigeria. We'll get better. My name is Paul.